okay, on that one. Let's then dive on and take a look at some Ethereum USDTA. Okie dokie, there's a couple of ways we could be looking at this. Overall, let me hide the drawings for us. What we've got here is a wedge that broke out towards the downside, and then it's maybe finding the potential for support in it around about some key areas for us. Looking over to the left, where you can see the liquidity was really in around about this 1300 zone. Having actually tested 1300 and a little bit lower, and then found the movement up the way. We did speak about this. I feel sorry for whoever it was recently in the chat who said that, you know, they were going to get wiped out at 1350. Is there a chance of it going there? And the answer being, well, yes, and then it haven't happened. Sorry, buddy. But now you can at least see how, you know, looking back from then till now, how that was a possibility, and as well then why this maybe would represent a decent enough area for it to be able to be getting in on a trade. Like with Bitcoin, you've got the potential for this to be hidden bullish divergence for us if you're considering one of these to be a low on the 24-hour time frame. And we've had a nice movement up the way in terms of the 4-hour time frame. Then you can see that we actually had a death cross here, and this has actually come up to test the 50 simple period moving average. So if you're watching the other TA that we put out so far, you'll see that this is one of the things that we'd like to talk about, and this has actually happened now. You could short this off the back of that, looking for further continuation towards the downside. This bullish divergence we've had so far has been great and lovely to see, and it's succeeded insofar as that it's taken us up towards the fantastic targets of the 382 Fibonacci retracement point, but it's, you know, it's not successfully done anything yet that's changed the story, and we need to stay above the 1530 zone, really, to be honest with you, and try and push up and test that 200 simple period moving average, so that we can take advantage of this potential bullish divergence to get us a turnaround, of course, you know, so that this can be the end of this chunk of a downward trend, and that overall we can look towards this zone as having given us a degree of hidden bullish divergence on this larger time frame, linking those two concepts together. Otherwise, of course, what we're looking at is failure of one, which can cascade over to failure of t'other. So will this recovery that we're seeing so far be good enough for us? Well, it could be, and we do actually have profit targets as well in mind already. This chart here is not the chart I wish to be using. It's just, you know, there you go, that's a bit better. Because we've actually managed to stay above where our previous Fibonacci will tell us was the previous high, and found our critical market support in there at that area at the time on a lower time frame basis, putting in what could maybe have been some sort of reversal type pattern here at the lows down the way with the bullish divergence, maybe off the back of that 236, off the back of that previous high on the, as we can see where the previous high was. At this, that's the 1 point, that's the previous high from back in January 2018. Then what we could then maybe be looking at is the potential for movements towards the top side, and what they come in looking like is, of course, past the 1600 area up to 1750 to 1800 as your next, not breaking the structure of the potential reversal if this were to be an all-time high, and us not do that yet. That's your get out of jail with max profit zone. But then your actual continuing on to higher areas is the 2.5 grand target that we've had more or less in mind for a while, with various other targets in between, etc. You know, in particular 2200 and 2022. Okay, so we've had this negative cross here on the 2-day time frame on the DMI. That's not great. That's the overall look of things. The 3-day time frame telling us that if we do get across here, that we're starting to look really negative. The fact that we've got this turnaround here on the you know, the big time frame of the weekly, where we've had, you know, very rare movements up towards this zone. This all makes it seem like it could be very toppy in that area. Okay, that's just the reality of it in the broader term time frames. But how can we continue on? Well, breaking that narrative back down the way, you know, we know that there's this developing story of negativity on the broader term time frames, but we're currently above the 236 that we need to be up above when Christopher Columbus did his old sailing the ocean jazz in there around about 1428 or whatever, something like that he did it. So around about there, so long as we're above that, then then things are still okay, right? That's the way to look at it for now. And we got doubly confirmation on that with the 1465 area of the other 236 that we're getting so far, and the profit taking comes in there, like I say, 1800, unless you're wanting to then, you know, ride that roller coaster of the next phase in the market thereafter. That's based off the fact that we see follow through on this RSI and the bullish divergence, potential hidden bullish divergence there for us in the face of that negative cross on the daily time frame, and then dragging that bank down the way and saying, well, maybe on these lower time frames like the 24-hour flowing down to the 12, as you can see in the DMI, still very negative, but then it get down towards the 4-hour, you say, well, maybe actually what we're seeing on that side is the waning of that negativity, as you see it waxing on the bigger time frames, putting that struggle between the two, and that's your risk and reward for you. And if you want to succeed at trading, what you'll probably benefit from with regards to Ethereum. Move scale to the left. There we go. That's probably going to be better for everybody on the show there. Continuing on with the chat snazzles, by the way, if I've missed any more chat from anybody, I apologize, but I think I would see it now if anybody did.